Welcome back to the Mike Peluso Outdoors here on urlradio.net. The more hits we play, the more hits we get. We're super excited again about this program, reflecting a little bit on North Dakota, especially right now since we haven't really ventured out. We're going to venture out next week, actually, to Grand Rapids, Minnesota, for an AIM tournament over there, and we're excited about that. We're going to get some neat stuff from that area. It's been a busy year for me personally. I've been doing more guiding than I've ever had to do. Thought I'd have a little bit more time to kick back, but you know what? You got to make hay while the haying's good, and certainly with this year's fishing, it's been phenomenal. And you can get a hold of me on that as well, either just personally, or you can get a hold of realfishingguides.com. They can book trips for me, and also percheyes.com, which is one of the sponsors of the show. Up on Devil's Lake, Jason Feldner does a wonderful job running that. And then if we're all booked up there, don't ever hesitate to look over at a couple of the other ones, like a Woodland Resort, another fine sponsor of the show. Those are great people over there. Kyle Blanchford, he's done a wonderful job. I just marvel every time I go to his hotel, restaurants, and resort there. It's pretty incredible on Devil's Lake as well. So give them a look, and again, get out here and enjoy this. It's a pretty special time. I think all the systems are firing on all cylinders right now, which is incredible. But again, switching gears, we're gonna go to Devil's Lake right now, being that I've spent quite a bit of time up there guiding so far this year, and super excited to know that lake is it's incredible. I've fished a lot of different bodies of water over the course of my lifetime, and I do have to point the finger at Devil's Lake as probably one of the best. It's I kind of sums it to a meat factory sometimes. You just are blown away by the numbers of fish that you catch, both walleyes and northerns, and then you also got your mix of white bass and the wintertime it's perch. Don't know really where they go or where they hide during the summer. I mean, I think there's a couple different philosophies or theories on what they're doing, but when there's the amount of predator fish in that lake as there are, especially northerns, they're definitely hiding out, put it that way. But anyway, that body of water has been awesome, and I'm looking forward to getting back up there here this week. I got a guide 3-4 days here this week, and then tournament. I got the AIM Walleye Tournament, which is the last one on our circuit on Devil's Lake. We'll maybe get some more stuff. I want to try to get the AIM people on the program and talk a little bit about the catch, photo, and record and release format. I think it's one of the greatest formats tournament fishing has ever seen. You don't have to worry about slot limits in general. You just catch and record and throw them back, so you can fish all day. You don't have to worry about what fish to keep, what fish not to keep. You don't have to worry about guys cheating as far as calling fish out of their live wells, which we all know happens too much in tournaments. And again, I just think it alleviates all that, and it's an awesome format. And for any of you that maybe question that format or are scared of it, don't be. I can't explain to you how simple it is, and maybe when we bring these folks on the show, we can talk a little bit about that and have fun with that. I'm certainly a big fan of it. I want to promote it. I think it's a wonderful circuit, especially here for North Dakota. We got all these guys that want to be and try to be big time fishermen, and that's the place to play. I mean, I have nothing wrong with all the local tournaments. You definitely got to support those. But if you want to pony up and put your big boy pants on, that's the circuit you need to get involved in and see if you can't get into the national championship. I mean, we want to represent North Dakota well. We think we've got some of the finest fishing, some of the finest bodies of water, and some of the finest fishermen in the country sitting right here. And when you look back at the history of North Dakota in tournaments, Bismarck's been host to some of the biggest walleye tournaments in walleye history, for that matter, starting way back in 1986. They had the MWC championship here, and a good friend of mine, Bruce Sampson, and Jerry Anderson won it. My dad actually helped them on the river that weekend to put them on fish on an early fall bite, which was in September. And they ended up winning that, and it kind of turned into a lifelong friendship with those guys, and it's pretty cool to see that Doc is still going strong in the fishing industry, and he's taught me a ton over the years, and it's really cool. But again, the AIM, if you're looking at a place to play as far as your fishing goes and honing your skills and trying to move up the ladder that way, that is the place to play. And again, it's gaining some recognition now finally. The last two tournaments here in North Dakota, I think have gone pretty well. I think with the numbers, I would like to have seen a few more boats, but I know guys are a little hesitant or a little leery at something that first comes in, but it's been around, folks. This isn't something that just popped up overnight. They've been running the AIM circuits now for a few years here, and it just keeps getting bigger and better. And again, I can't stress to you enough how exciting it is to have a North Dakota-based circuit. One, have a state championship. Two, and then have a chance to fish in a national championship where everything's paid for. So you're trying to qualify for that. And again, I know I'm trying to call some people out on this because I want to see people pony up and get into these, especially guys that want to talk the game. Come on out and let's fish. I mean, I think that's what it's all about, and it's fun, and you can put yourself on a national stage, and again, that's super cool. But let's talk a little bit about Devil's Lake, being that's where we're going to be heading here this week. Again, kind of catch fish any which way you want. Bobber fishing has been really good this year with leeches. Spinners are firing pretty good now. You can always cast crankbaits and do well, which is exciting. And again, it's just one of those bodies of water where you can kind of pick your poison. I'm thinking maybe for my tournament up there next weekend, I'll try to isolate a few spots where you can hone in on them and maybe vertical jig or jig and wraps or whatever, but we'll see what happens. It's going to be an interesting deal. My partner and I, Jeff Ensminger, are actually sitting in first on the team of the year, so this is a pretty big tournament for us. I don't want to change anything as far as how I'm going to go about it. I guess I fish enough to where it's not going to really change anything. It's just another day of fishing to me, but we want to do well. We want to try and represent well and get ourselves in good position to do well at the state championship on Sakakawea, and also do well or get a chance to go fish in the national championship where we don't know where that's at yet. They haven't released that. They kind of wait until the circuits are all done, and then bam, they give you one in the spring, and I just cannot wait if we get fortunate enough to make that. So again, want to have North Dakota teams representing well, and the more we get involved in these tournaments, the more chances we do have North Dakota guys coming out of that to hold for it, and just makes it interesting to get to fish against guys from Wisconsin and Minnesota and Michigan and South Dakota and all over. So hopefully we get more and more. That's kind of the goal here. So take a look at the AIM format when you get a chance, and I'm definitely going to try and get these folks on this program and interview them and talk a little bit about it to try and expose it even more. But that's where we're headed. Devil's Lake here next week. There's still time to register too. If you haven't, you can go online and on the AIM Walleye and register for that tournament and join in and see what happens. It should be fun. But again, just a reflection on the 4th of July, kind of the midsummer time of the year where fishing starts to change a little bit. We're certainly in really good fishing mode right now, which is exciting. The fish are biting kind of all over the place, other than maybe locally here on the Missouri River and Bismarck. They're biting to the south. You can get on fish, and certainly Lake Sakakawea. Lake Audubon's been good too. That's a lake that seems to get forgotten once in a while during the open water season. It's a huge ice fishing lake, but again, been great catch rates there. And then if you look at some of the smaller lakes, your Greens, your Rice, your Alkalis, some of them are just going crazy right now. And yeah, they might not have the greatest access. That is some of the concerns here in North Dakota, and we'll talk about that maybe in future programs. We'd like to see more paved roads, more paved boat docks to some of these areas. Kind of just like South Dakota does. South Dakota's got a phenomenal deal going on down there. I don't know if there is a boat ramp in the state of South Dakota that isn't a paved road right to it, to be quite honest with you. Fish cleaning stations pretty much all around with ANS. That's kind of a huge thing that, folks are trying to make sure that you got places to clean your fish when you got for water. You can't transport them any longer in your live well with water, which you did forever, and you got to pull your plug as soon as you get out. Those are some of the rules you got to pay attention to when coming off these lakes now here in North Dakota, and it's a good rule. We're here to protect our resource, and you don't want to be transferring, different aquatic species into all these beautiful rivers and lakes that we have here. So again, pay attention to that, but that'll definitely be something we can talk about here in the future. How to go about maybe getting a few more dollars shifted, paving a few roads to make access easier and better here on some of our lakes and rivers here in North Dakota. So we'll push. We'll see. I don't know. Maybe the old logic is the squeaky wheel gets the most grease, and we'll give it a go. See if we can't get some of that stuff happening. But 4th of July, midsummer, kind of our benchmark of the summer's half gone, but we still got lots and lots and lots of opportunity to fish and camp and explore and and get out there. So it's not over by any means. It's just the midsection. We want to take that time to honor the great red, white, and blue of the USA here. And as I sit here recording the show, I'm looking at blue skies and just perfect conditions to be out enjoying the outdoors in some way, shape, or form, which I know a lot of folks are this week. And it brings a smile to my face. And anytime you can get those youngsters involved, that's even better. So find a kid, take them fishing, get them hooked, take them skiing, take them jet skiing, take them swimming, whatever it may be. Like we did this weekend. All we did was take the boat, put her on the water, pulled the tubes around, let the girls swim. You know what? You can't beat that. So happy 4th to everybody on this. I know it's coming to a little bit past that, but again, I want hopefully everybody had a great holiday season. It was kind of our mid-season recap of where everything's at and how everything's going. I want to take a second to thank again our sponsors, and if you would like to become a sponsor, you can find us some way, shape, or form, whether it's through the websites or at urlradio.net or Mike Peluso on Facebook. You can also email me. I said that address earlier in the program. So, again, there's lots of ways to get in touch with us and get involved. And, we want to continue to grow and make this thing better. And let's bring some attention to the great state of North Dakota and beyond. We got such a wonderful country that we live in. So, again, God bless to everybody from the good old USA on this happy 4th of July. The Mike Peluso Outdoors will be back next week. We're going to be trailing around the AIM walleye format. We're going to be on Devil's Lake fishing this tournament, and we'll see how we shake out as far as the team of the year is concerned, all that good stuff, and we're going to bring you more information on this wonderful circuit. So until then, thanks for joining me here on the Mike Peluso Outdoors and urlradio.net. We'll see you guys next week. Thanks.
Whoa.